What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Eddy Live Show, episode number 215. I am here with Joseph Huang. How you doing, man?
Very good.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know, going through your resume, man, like I was saying earlier, it's kind of like, wow, you've done a lot, man. Congrats on the amazing career.
No, it's one step at a time and sort of fall in the right place at the right time.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers,
Yes, yes.
cheers.
So, obviously, let's start a little bit from the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah. So were you born here or the States or?
So,
Let's talk a little about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So my parents immigrated back in '77 to California, and I was actually born in 1978 in LA.
Okay.
So, born and raised basically in Los Angeles, Orange County area.
Yep.
And went to school in Costa Mesa.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Okay.
Then after that, I was college in Santa Barbara, UC Santa Barbara.
Yep. Yep.
And then, yeah, worked for a bit, did a lot of stuff down in South America and
Yep.
Mexico. And actually,
In Mexico, beautiful, because it's so close, right?
Yeah. I mean, actually, for my beginning of my career, I thought I was actually going to be in South America.
Okay.
I was, my parents were doing trading from China through LA down to
Nice.
South America, like Mexico, Costa Rica, Guatemala, Colombia, all those other things. And then, so I actually went and got my master's in Spain because I thought, okay.
Oh, shoot.
I really gotta get my level up in regards to the MBA, whatever acronym, and understand what people are talking about. And so I went there for school. Okay. And then I met my wife and I realized I think we'd be better off if we started from the Asia side.
Sure. Okay.
And that's how I ended up over here in Taiwan.
That's crazy. I didn't know. Okay, so you did a degree in Spain then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did my MBA in Spain. Yeah.
In English or in Spanish?
No, it was in English.
Okay.
They had a Spanish program too, but my Spanish was good enough for street, but I once you get into a lot of the vocabulary, I was still not there. And then the Catalan and the way they speak in Spanish, it was really quick, really fast, and I couldn't hang.
And the slur, right?
Yes.
Like cerveza.
Yes.
What? So I had a Mexican friend who went to visit Spain. They said every time he ordered a cerveza, they were just like, say it properly or you're not going to get it. You know, and he's just like this Mexican guy, like, what? It's so funny, man. So yeah, I would like to go one day. It's on the bucket list, but I haven't. How was Spain?
Oh,
must have been amazing, man.
It's amazing. Definitely a great place for vacation. In terms of work wise, it's difficult. It's a slower pace. There's a huge unemployment issue.
Okay, really?
And so you really have to figure out a real path if you want to stay in Spain and actually make something out of it. Okay. But for vacation, it's amazing. Yeah.
Like the siesta sort of lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean that's
real. Yeah,
that is real. It's just it's hard to get used to because so I went back in 2000. Oh my gosh, dating me now. 2004.
Okay.
And then I was able to get my mobile phone right away, my Spanish Spanish cell phone number. But then it took me over 6 months. My first year of grad school was finished before my internet came into my house.
Okay. That's funny. Well, you said 1978, right? That's the same as me, man.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, brother. I'm July.
Okay,
July
February 20th.
Nice. Same age, man. 1978. Wow. Yes. Okay, I better step up my game here.
No,
Cheers,
whatever, man. Just hey, what have you built here? It's crazy. Yeah.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, it's good. People ask about the podcast, and it's like my night out. I get to have a beer. I get to have a cool conversation. Yeah. Get to share it with people. Yeah. And yeah, it's good, man. I enjoy it. It's one of my favorite days of the week.
It's really cool to see. I mean, I don't remember exactly the guy's name, but he was doing stuff in music and entertainment as well, and then came over here. It's awesome to hear all these different stories about how people somehow end up in Taiwan.
It's crazy. That's kind of like always the theme. Like they ended up in Taiwan. They're coming for 6 months or a year, and then it's been 20.
Yeah.
One guy, Lido, he's actually November will be 50 years in Taiwan.
50.
He's going to turn 80 next month.
Oh my god!
And it's been 50 years in Taiwan.
Oh my
and
god!
It's crazy because he's great guy. Guy. Yeah. No, it's always the same thing, man. They came for people came for a year. Hey, man.
Cheers.
People came for a year and then they just decided to stay. I had this guy right here, Michel, on a couple of weeks ago, and also same thing. He came from France. He's actually doing he's a chef from France. He's doing an online, a sort of food production company that he provides schools, and he provides people to a week. Let's just say you're a busy guy, and then they can provide a week's worth of food.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Cool episode. Yeah.
U.S. is like a Blue Apron type. So
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly that. Something like that, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah.
And it's all done in Taiwan.
All done in Taiwan. Yeah. He's providing some schools and stuff. Yeah. It was a pretty good episode, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, brother. So, but yeah, no, man. But like I said, back to you. If someone were to ask you, like I said, it went through your resume. It's like, whew, okay. I had to Google Translate most of it. No. So if someone were to ask you, what do you do? You meet somebody for the first time and they say, well, what do you do, Joseph? What do you say?
I help startups.
Okay.
And so that's in all shapes and sizes, my job is to figure out how to, no, technically my job is to help other people make money. And then but how I make money is to invest into startups. Yeah.
Okay. So let's take it even one step back.
Sure.
What is a startup? For people that don't I know, but for people that are not sure, let's just say it has to be some kind of a tech thing, or could it be just a new business, or what's the difference between a new business and a startup?
Yeah. So actually I would say startups actually would be, I don't know if there's actually it's fair to actually say startups is only about tech.
Okay.
What you've built here, your Eddy's, your podcast and everything, that should be called a startup.
Okay.
So that's a startup is a new business.
Okay.
So no answer, it's or buff, how you actually can get something off the ground. You're an entrepreneur. You go out. You either you raise money yourself. You bootstrap it. You get money from the bank or whatever, and you build something from zero. That's called a startup.
Okay.
That's for me. It's a startup.
Okay. Because when I thought about it the first time I heard it, I thought, oh, that must just be tech companies or app building companies or something like that. But anything can kind of fit into that.
So I mean, even I would say there's a particular startup that I can only invest in.
Sure.
So there's a problem for us is people think that I can only invest in startups where I can believe that this company will be able to
make a profit.
No, not just make a profit. It has to make if I put $1 in, I have to believe that this company can make $20 back.
Okay. Wow. So I have to make a big profit.
A big profit.
Okay. So doubling your money, that's a loss for you.
Doubling money. So what we compete, so as a VC, we actually compete against other VCs.
Okay.
So if somebody's gonna give me money to help make them more money, we're promising them by the time that you give me money, we'll be able to provide you 5x or 5x your return.
Okay. Nice. That's great. Okay.
But if you're 5x your return, then anything that's gonna even if you're a great company but you can do 2x, that's a great company.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your company, but for us, we can't. That doesn't hit the criteria that we have to meet.
Because you have a lot of investors, and everybody needs to make some money.
Because for us is we're promising our investors 5x.
Okay.
But that means that our bets have to be better than 5x, because we know that
you have to make money too.
No, actually, most of the times our bets they're gonna flop.
Okay.
And so if you don't do the 20x return, and you only do whatever, even if you do a 5x and you have 3 or 4 good 5x's.
Okay.
But if you have 2 or 3 flops, then your return is going to be less than 5x.
I know that. Okay.
So then our investors will be mad at us.
Okay, understand.
Yeah.
Well, the similar, well, not similar, but with the restaurant as well. Like let's say like this Saturday.
Yeah.
It's Halloween, and everybody's going to be, it's the busiest day of the year.
Yeah.
We make like huge money. But it's empty today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like, I understand. Okay. Yeah. That's kind of my way of,
So I mean,
making it more understandable.
Because you still have to pay your employees, you still have you still have to pay rent, and so that's your minimum was what everyone's expecting from you. And then even if you have a great day, Hollywood's a great day, but like we're talking about,
exactly.
You're only full, and you can't do more than full.
Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the problems that we have with the restaurant. I think, like for that day, Halloween, we've actually. We're not quite full, but what we've done is we've made like slots. Like, okay, you've got your 11 to 11:30 to whatever, you get your 90 minutes.
Yep.
So we've got, the restaurant slotted out for that day, because that day is, I think I know the guy who's one of the organizers for that, and he said that I can't remember, it's like 50 or 75,000 or something people come to this area to trick or treat. Right, everyone with kids. And, people that have like cram schools and stuff, they all dress the kids up and they trick or treat, right? So it's like we see 80 and there's 75,000 people. You know what I mean? So you kind of gotta try to, but when you're full, you're full.
Yep.
That's it. Like, that's what we were talking about, like doing the quesadillas, right?
Of course.
Which would be great. So hopefully, we can get that done. Yeah.
Yep.
But then if I have to leave someone out there, that slows down the inside, and it's just like, it's always like, kind of like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, You got
to do like some type of vending machine quesadilla so they can just get it by
I need to go to Japan. And have them invent a vending machine quesadilla and just kind of leave it there. Actually park it in front of a bar or something.
That'd be perfect.
That would be, right?
I mean the guys the entrepreneur, the startup that does the sausages in front of So-Go KTVs.
Yeah.
Guy makes so much money.
Yeah, for sure.
He says no rent costs, and he just, those margins are great, and and people
everybody's
are so
drunk.
hungry.
Yeah. No, I think I remember being when I was in college in Vancouver Island. You go in, you're dressed up, you're in college, you want to meet some girls or something, and then there's always one of your friends or a couple of your friends that are not going to meet a girl, so they want to leave. And then, there's always the hot dog guy outside. And there was this place, it was like a franchise called Tube Steak, right? Yeah. And they were just like these big jalapeno cheese smokies, and they had like these hot sauces, and it was massive. And so, your buddy's like, oh, I'm leaving. And you're like, okay, well, let's go. And then that's like a part of the night. You get that hot dog, right?
It's the ritual.
It's the ritual. You get that, and you're like, you're hungry. And one of my buddies, he was just this really cheap guy.
Yeah.
And because this was a long time ago. It was like $5, but it was like this massive thing.
Sure.
Now it's probably 20, but probably it's crazy, man. Yeah. But we're like, and I'm like, you know what? Next time, because we're in the taxi and I'm just sitting there eating my hot dog, just enjoying, loving life. Yeah. And he'd be like, oh, that thing stinks, man. Oh, $5, whatever, right? And then I'm like, you know what, you cheap bastard. Next time, I'll buy you one. So same thing happens, no one meets any girls. Yeah, everyone strikes out. Yeah. And then, you go there and I'm like, okay, give me two. And he would sit there and he was eating it. And he was just like, it was like, the lights out, heaven's open. He was just like, whoa. And you're drunk and everything tastes better, or 10x when you're drunk. Speaking of 10x, right? It's like, when you're drinking and you're drunk, it's like, wow. And you get home and you're just like, wow. And then, you actually get out of the cab and there's sauce all over you. And it's just like, it's crazy. But that guy, it doesn't matter what the prices are. You walk out, you're hungry, and you're going to eat it, right? Yeah. It's good stuff, man. I love that. Yeah. So how did you get started then into sort of your field of like the venture capital?
So I didn't start in venture capital. I was actually, before that. So fast forward after graduation.
Yeah, keep going on that one. Yeah, please.
I graduated, we went to Asia, but I realized I wanted to go back, and I was very interested in video games.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
And so then I
gonna make any money playing video games. Damn it, Mom. Yeah.
There's truth in that, but there's also like you gotta make sure that when you're playing, you have an angle to it. So
okay.
So the funny thing is, like I joined a startup, and then they wanted to build a video game, and then you realize how much money you're going to lose by building a video game, because it's building a video game, it's a lot of, there's very little rhyme to reason about how that video game is gonna make money. It's like
So at this time, so what were the games at that time?
So this was wow. Okay, this is before
I'm like Pac-Man, Atari,
yeah,
all the way till like
sure,
now.
Sure. So this was before iPhone.
Okay, sure.
This is basically we were targeting download games, Dance Dance Revolution, Guitar Hero. That was hot.
Nice.
And so we were actually thinking of doing some type of game like that.
Okay.
But our startup was going to run out of money. So basically 3 months in, I told the founder, hey, I know you hired me, but like we're
in the red.
We're in the red. And so how about we switch from developing a game to publishing a game?
Okay.
So that's when I was already in Asia. Asia already had some free to play games.
Okay.
And they were already doing stuff in whatever, MMORPGs, this, like massively multiplayer games and such. And so I thought, okay, we should go and get one of these games, whatever game that we can find our hands on, and translate into English and then publish in the States. And so that was the game plan. And credit to the founder. He actually took this business plan and then started raising money from it. And it was all his credit. He raised $3 million,
and he was able to find the game.
And so I found the game.
Okay, got you.
But in terms of raising the money to actually even pay for the license fee for the game and the translation and stuff, he did it. So that was my first endeavor into startup.
Beautiful. Can I ask what the game was? Was it a small?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So the game was called Ran Online.
Okay.
And then we renamed it to call Knights. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's cool. No, it's all good. I'm just curious.
Knights something. I can't remember. It was so we actually met these guys that were doing the guys that funded us were animation people. They were actually distributing DVDs for anime, like One Piece, Dragon Ball. Yeah, so a lot of, and so they thought, hey, we have this huge audience that love anime, and then these anime guys are gonna they like playing video games, so should be this good synergy. So the first game that we looked for was a anime like, the players were all anime like, so just trying to move these players from watching anime to actually playing anime.
Great. Okay.
Yeah, so that was the idea. It turned out okay. We eventually the company was sold and everyone got a piece of it, but and then I thought, hey, we should do it again. And then
that was your first gig.
That was my first gig.
Okay, then that sounds great. Yeah. Okay, beautiful.
So and then we tried it again, and then we went to. I was in Taiwan, and then that's when I realized how hard it was. It was like easily. Taiwan, you realize how every market is different.
Sure.
I mean, yes, there's a lot of things that you learn that you take with you, but just how competitive the market is, how aggressive the people are in terms of spending, how you have to treat the customer, how you have to go and find these guys. Every country or even every region has nuances that I was being way too naive on when I started the game company here.
Understand.
So
sure.
Found some fellow founders and tried to build the same type of company here, and I got my ass kicked. It took me way too long to raise the money, even though I already had the credibility of doing it in the US. It's still very hard in Taiwan.
Sure.
And then people, hard, good and bad, the Chinese came in with way more marketing budget than I had.
Okay.
And so free to play games, it's all about get as many people on your platform as fast as possible
and sell ads.
And then sell items, right?
Sell items inside the game. Okay.
So gotcha. I couldn't get to that like economy to scale to get people to buy items. And so like those games were like basically came out and they were just died on the spot.
Okay.
So but anyways, good thing it was like my previous game company, they actually bought them, and then so they started publishing in the States, but I didn't make any money. But it was just realized like, okay, good in understanding the goods and bads about building video games, but the bad about, okay, wow, it's just how competitive this market is, and just more respect to founders and entrepreneurs that are able to like go through this whole experience.
It's a tough one. I mean, for us, we started the restaurant, I would say 16 or so years ago. And we just thought, hey, let's open a stand and see if it works.
I remember.
And, right? And it's just like we tried that, and it was, it was okay. We didn't really make any money, but I was like, okay, I think we can if we do the restaurant.
Sure.
Move to a small restaurant, then the other one, and then this one.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty good. But it is pretty. It's a crazy lifestyle. It's a crazy business. So obviously for me, my goal eventually is to do like I would like to grow it and
sure.
and have maybe a few more locations or make it sort of franchisable or something like that. But I always get, there's always like the roadblocks. Like for right now, for example, it's hard to find staff. Staffing is tough. And right now it seems, how can I say it without sounding like an old man, like newer generation, they don't want to work in the kitchen. They don't want to eat. They don't want to serve. They want to come and eat and have their margaritas and stuff like that. But they don't want to come and make the margaritas. So it seems to be like everybody wants to come and eat, but nobody wants to work here. So, I mean, not saying nobody, but it's tough. And I have friends with restaurants, and it's the same thing. Like they're having a hard time. And we got a good crew right now, but if we were to open another one, I don't know where we would get the next crew. It's tough. It's definitely tough. But we survived the COVID and all that. That was crazy. COVID was nuts. Making tamales and driving them to Nehu in the rain, and then it's crazy, man. But that's a whole other story. But for sure.
I mean, so have you guys thought, I mean, just putting my VT hat on, and then how does Ghost Kitchens or Uber or Food Panda, I mean, yes, I mean, I remember you telling me, dude, they take such a huge
hit. Yeah, sorry,
huge cut.
Yeah.
But on one hand, they take a huge cut, but is it possible to find a way to leverage their reach versus opening up a new store? Because like the new store, you're going to have to deal with the just
same crap again, right?
Same crap again.
Yeah. No, I actually thought about that. I thought about doing the ghost kitchen and stuff like that, and just doing the kind of the delivery and stuff like that. So it's definitely an option because we do have customers from all over, like from as far as Kaohsiung, people would come up and all over Taipei, and we do have our own little online system, which is good. Works very well. But of course, it doesn't compete with Uber. Uber's massive. Uber's on pretty much everyone's phone. Right. So I think so. Uber would take 35%.
Okay.
So if you were able to go down and kind of like have like a small crew, and you have to bump the prices up a little bit, I guess, just to it's definitely doable. I would like to do that, honestly. And that's also another reason, because expanding is good. And for me, I would like to not just grow the business, but it's been a long time. Like I'm like 45. We're 45. So we're 45. But I don't want to get to so what happened, there's one of two things happen. Like you get to kind of like 65 or 80 or whatever is when you want to stop. You see it everywhere, right? The mom and pop shop, the one location shop, it's either like, okay, it's time to pass it on to the kids, which is great. But it's 50-50. The kid is either going to be like, yes, let me carry on the legacy. Let me do this and that. Or the kid is going to be like, I've seen you kill yourself building this your whole life. I'm not doing that.
So and then you don't want to put the pressure on them either.
And what do? It's either or you sell it and you close it, but then you sell it to like a I don't want to say a real business guy, but like a systemization sort of a business guy, and then they franchise it and then they explode it. And like, damn it, that's what I was trying to do, but I'm missing something. So I would like to get to that, and not just for money, because it's not really the money. It's kind of like I would like to leave something here for the family, and I don't know. That's kind of the goal. We'll see someday. I mean, I don't know if there's a service out there. I've read a bunch of the books. I've hired consultants, but we always seem to be missing something to take us to like for example, like a Din Tai Fung. Quality's good. Still good. They expanded something like that. So it's possible. Then you look at something like a McDonald's. it's not the best burger, but if you know you're in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing and you don't know what's there, and you go get a Big Mac, it's going to taste the same. Pretty close. To what you get in Canada or the States or whatever.
I mean, one of the great things about you guys is you have your own tortilla, right?
Yeah, with the flour and the corn, man.
So I mean, I know I'm hounding you on this, but like, I don't want to give up on Halloween, but just if you're just
one dish,
quesadillas, Eddy's quesadillas, and then just be able to get that into everyone's brainwash everyone's head about in Taiwan, basically, like, I just needed Eddy's quesadilla when I'm and get that into people's hands as fast as possible. That's
a good idea.
There's no, I mean, you already have the kitchen, and you don't have to. You can do it quickly, so that's
very quick.
And then you don't have to. So I guess what I'm saying is that's sort of a low hanging fruit where you don't have to have too much investment. Actually, probably no investment, and then
no, that sounds good. I do like the idea. Just like 100 NTs or whatever for like a half, whatever quesadilla, just sell it by
and then just make sure that it's available for even have your own cart in front of you.
No, I could totally do that. Exactly.
Go after that market.
I actually thought about that. I thought about the food truck. I thought about the because we started in a market. I thought about a lot of different things, and we actually, like I said, we make the flour and the corn here, right? And people love it. We actually went to a what is it called? Like a food exhibition. And at that time we were fully staffed. We had a bunch of tortillas, all the flour, they're all packaged up, and everything was good. And everyone loved them because the other tortillas are, that are available are not that good, right? And so we got all these customers, and we got, coffee shops and whatever, and people were like, they wanted them. And then when it came to time to do the order, we didn't have enough hands to do them. And it's just like, okay, I got to keep doing these all. And then eventually they all kind of like,
came down.
And then it's like, so we actually have in the back there, we've got a little, not like a tortilla factory, but we have all all these little compact, pieces of equipment that helps us.
I remember the machine, right?
The machine's there. And now we do the corn, right? Like we've been doing maybe 3-4 years now. We do the corn, we grind the corn, like the Taiwanese corn. And
it's good.
It's good, man. It's really good. We love it. So we want to definitely, even if we don't really expand from as a restaurant, but we start to provide tortillas to like everywhere you go, they like a KFC. They have like, the mo shiga jianbing, right? They have it everywhere. So even if we were starting to provide them with that's already massive, right?
I guess the
problem is just price. Price is tough.
Exactly.
Price is tough because we're doing it like all kind of like
very premium,
artisanal, and then sometimes people want the cheap. And that's tough.
So they cater definitely to
different crowd.
KFC actually has that price point where they have so it's hard to do that. So that's why I'm saying, if you can go direct. At least, you're not. I don't.
What's your suggestion? No, please, no, dude. This is also one of the reasons I have the podcast, so I can like all the guys that are like killing it. I want to know what's an idea.
If you can you don't even have to make money. Just break even on making sure that your food costs are covered, but I want to see volume. Like if you can get Eddy's quesadillas to a volume, like we're talking
to people or to a volume. What do you mean, like providing restaurants or providing?
No, forget the restaurants because
they can't make money like
they can't make money. So like because your tortillas aren't cheap.
No, they're not. They're not, definitely.
And so that you need to just go directly to the consumer and say, look, I'm giving you this quesadilla, and then I like it, and then so you just get everybody's name out in terms of it's basically your marketing to everybody in Taiwan that like I have to have Eddy's quesadilla,
like B2C kind of thing, like definitely like
because like I know we're complaining about Uber with their costs, but it's like
the reach is ridiculous.
The reach is ridiculous, and so figure out how to get your name out to everybody. In terms of the reach, and then once you have that reach, then figure out how do I find the margin? But if you don't even have if you're paying so much for the reach, and you can't, and it's costing you like arm and a leg, then don't do it. But if it's just a marginal cost where you can you already have the staff, you already have the machines that are already building that.
Yeah.
And you can get I'm saying making Eddy's Cantina, the most famous. I mean, you guys are already quite famous, but the most, everybody in Taiwan knows
the quesadilla.
The quesadilla.
Like the Shalom Bao in Taiwan, right? Okay. I would love to do that, man. Yeah, for sure. And the funny thing is, we were just like, because we were doing reprinting, and every time we reprint, like, for example, the kids menu. Yeah. We look at the numbers, and I think it's like 90% of the kids that off the kids menu, 90% of it is quesadilla. Yeah, because the kids did just want the quesadillas, right?
It's a very simple dish, but it's very easy for kids. Is when you add like beans or chicken, and then the kids are like, they're very simple people, and so
just cheese. No, that's beautiful. No, I love that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we will definitely. I'll have something out there for sure. Yeah. Are you guys trick or treating?
Yes.
Dressing up? What's the plan?
I mean, the kids are. Okay. I think I don't want to spoil my kids, like whatever surprises they want to say in terms of. So they're making their costumes, and so we'll see what happens.
One of the coolest things is you get to see some really creative kids making costumes. Yeah. You get to see everybody just dressing up, and just enjoying it. Sure. You know, there's mom rocking like Harley Quinn, and you're like, oh my God, it's crazy. It's crazy Halloween. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just the one time a year. So yeah, Saturday, it'll be packed. It's our biggest day of the year.
That's awesome.
It's going to be good.
And then you need to do more than 80 people.
I need to do more than 80. Yeah. That's just keep getting the quesadillas out the door. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, I like it. You get not only because those quesadillas are your calling card. Yeah, it becomes your business card or your whatever pamphlet or brochure that comes out, and then they have that in their hands and they eat it and then they go. I love it when you see, I'm just kind of scootering, waiting for the red light over there, and I see people walking, eating the quesadilla, and I'm just I love that. That'd be awesome. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, beautiful, man. Yeah. So for me, for Halloween, I only have one. Sure. I only have one kid, right? Yeah. So it's always like you're the dad, but you're also like the kid. Yep. So she's gonna do the Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, and Stacy. Yep. And then so I ordered her that, and I ordered I got the Miles Morales mask and stuff. So it'll be fun. It'll be good. Yeah. Nice. Kids are cool because you get to have your childhood again, man. I love that. Yeah.
Very cool.
It's one of my favorite things, man, about having a kid. It's great. And then because I've got all this gear, then my daughter's like, yo, let's live stream some Roblox. And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. It's fun. It's so fun, man. Yeah.
Does she? So I've always, I mean, not Roblox, but even on Minecraft, I'm always trying to tell my youngest is like, okay, I'm happy for you to build your house, but like, okay, I'd
stream that. Yeah.
No, not just, but I wanted to see some machines. I want to see like some simple machines that you can build. Like, I don't care if it's an exploding catapult or some, like they have this TNT missile that just like floats about and just goes in like that, and just something that allows them to just more than just like
I'm playing a game.
Wall. Yeah.
No, I think a lot of those like I said, my daughter does live stream. Sure. And she likes to do it in English, and I tell her it's great, and then we love it. But I'm like, let's try some in Chinese, because if you look at like the YouTube channels of streaming Minecraft and Roblox, they're premium. Like they're like amazing. Yeah, like, they're great. That's what she watches. Sure. But then if you go and look at like the ones that are done in Chinese, they're not that good. I don't want to say they're not good, but the quality is significantly lower. Yes. So I see that as kind of like an opportunity for her to jump in and let's do some in Chinese and stuff. So in Mandarin, right? So I mean, she still is like, okay, well maybe, but it would be good because all the people that she loves to watch. Yeah. Also, she has to compete with that. Yep. Because those, it's like I'm doing this exactly. And people like it and stuff like, but I'm also have to compete with Rogan. Yeah. And I love that guy. So it's like, it's tough. It's definitely tough. But if there's one, like if we check out who's live streaming Roblox or Minecraft in Mandarin, there's not that many. And the ones that are doing it just doesn't look very good. And it's not that good. Yeah. So I think, it could be good. It could be good.
Because I hear all these like quick fix ideas with AI. It's like, does it work? Or in regards to is one is your YouTube channel, and then but the other idea is to try to get your content, splice it up as fast as possible, and then get it out as fast as possible. But then, have you seen it work lately? I mean, that's something that we're always looking at. But
actually, 100%. So people always ask me how, you know, like for me, again, going back to the Joe Rogan, he does his long form.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he has his clips.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even watch the long one.
No.
You watch the clips.
Yes.
So that's something I've been wanting to do for a while. And in the last 3 or 4 months, I was able to find a couple of different softwares that did that.
Yeah.
And the one that I stuck with is called video.ai.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And so what I do is I will take my long form, and I will upload it there, or I can just put a YouTube link in, and it'll kind of rip it off YouTube. And let's just say it's an hour long.
Yeah.
After about 45 minutes or something, you'll get an email, and it'll say, "Okay, great episode. I have 55 short clips for you. I have 22, medium-sized clips for you." And then you go in and you look at it, and it does kind of like the Alex Hormozy subtitles.
Sure.
And you can just kind of like adjust things here and there. Okay. And when it's ready, you click ready. It will like sort of export it to like another section.
Yeah.
You can just download it.
Yeah.
Or it'll say directly from the app, it'll have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube Short.
Okay.
Right? So it'll just be like, it'll even have AI do a description for you if you want.
Sure.
So I'll usually click the AI to give me the description, then I'll change it, I'll fix what I want. Yeah. And then it's just like, you just kind of upload it to all of them.
Yeah.
And it's on TikTok. And then people are like, "Whoa, you're on TikTok." I'm like, I don't really open my TikTok very often.
Sure.
But, it's actually really good. The first time I saw TikTok, it's like 12-year-old girls dancing around. And I'm like, I don't really want to get into this. Right? Because
the biggest guys are on TikTok. Yeah. Rogan's on TikTok.
Exactly. Right. But so TikTok is actually quite good. It's quite smart. I think that when you use it for a little bit, it knows what you like. Sort of the algorithm. Yep. So now I get like my Joe Rogan kids on TikTok. Yeah. I get like the Alex Hormozy. I get all that stuff, like Gary V stuff on my TikTok. And it's like, it's so short. It's great. Like little snippets of everything. So I have this software that helps me do that. And they just sort of launched
but do you think,
program.
Outside of that, is it helpful? Have you seen like some growth? I have seen some. I think it's similar to, it's funny that you'll get a certain video will do like really well on Instagram. Sure. Like Instagram or Reels or whatever. Yep. And then it does crap on the other ones. Sure. And then a certain video will do really good on TikTok. Yeah. And then the same thing. And then like there's one so I had this really big YouTuber here, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. And it was great. And I talked to him about different strategies, and I asked him what he thought about Mr. Beast. And he told me he hates Mr. Beast. And then he kind of went off on how crap Mr. Beast is. And I put that into a clip, and I made it like 2 minutes. Yeah. And it got like really crap views. Sure. And then I'm like, no, that's a good clip. No, I'm going to try that again. So a couple months later, I made like a short vertical, again, with that software, like super quick. Sure. And I made the same thing. And I put like, the headline was, I hate Mr. Beast, exclamation mark, top YouTuber. Yeah. Can't remember what it was. It was a really good headline. Yeah. And it was like 200,000 views or something. It was just like, nice. So it was really cool, man. Okay. It's totally. Okay. Yeah. It went up a lot. And it depends on like tonight or tomorrow, I'll upload this and I'll make a bunch of clips, and it'll be cool. And I'll tag you on it. Yeah. It'll be cool. Nice. And the coolest thing is that, I don't have to do the work. Yeah. I just put it on there. The software will do it for me. And then, it's really good, man. It's really good. So I actually want to make it's newish. So there's a few other ones, but this one had the best quality, I thought. Okay. And then they just launched an affiliate program. So I'm like, okay, so now I can actually promote it. Yeah. Nice. See how it works. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right on, brother. Yeah, no, I love the AI. I definitely use ChatGPT to kind of double check things for me. Yeah. There's that. What else? There's quite a few things I use AI for. But okay, so what about yourself? No, I mean, a controversial subject because we have kids is
there's one more. But you go ahead first. Go first.
ChatGPT for our kids.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. I found my daughter the other day because English is perfect. Chinese is perfect. So after the trip to Canada, we came, she had to go back and she had to write a journal for school.
Yeah.
And I think it was 700 characters.
Sure.
Which is a lot for a little kid.
Yeah, of course.
And so she was writing it and she basically got to the point where she just was bored and she didn't know what else to write. And so basically for this too, I actually have an AI cleaning the background out.
Nice.
But yeah, basically, so you won't hear any of that. So basically, she got bored and then I went and I kind of busted her she wrote the story in English.
Yeah.
And she just used Google Translate and then it came all up in Chinese.
Yeah.
And she was like, and I'm like, what can I say? I'm just like,
I mean, is that smart or is not smart?
I think it's smart, right? But I'm like, you got to try your best. But so when she figures out ChatGPT, that's way better.
Yeah.
Like that's going to blow away Google Translate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Google Translate's actually getting
better too.
They're adding BART into it too. So it's going to be the same thing.
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be much difference in terms of.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about that?
Well, I guess that's where back to just like calculators in school.
Yeah.
If
one of my cousins used to be able to do pi to like the 1,000th number.
It's like, okay, but then it's like, it's not necessary. What we have to figure out what is the behind the question of what we're trying to learn for our kids. We don't need to memorize, just like this alphabet anymore because there's too many ways of these helps. Like you have video AI that's just doing all this cutting for you. So then what is, so my point for my critique on that is your content good enough that it's going to drive user bases on TikTok or Instagram, because that's the goal to actually build your follower base, right?
Yeah, so, for sure. It's like the idea with the shorts is like, I think what the effect that the Rogan Clips has.
Sure.
You throw out, it's like throwing that big fish net out and like ideally bringing them back to where you want them to be.
Yeah. And so, I mean, for our kids is if we don't, they're going to learn it. Yeah. I don't want them, just like Minecraft, you should let them learn how to play it but try to understand how to actually build the machines or build something that they can learn how to game the system, because once ChatGPT is going to be a part of our life. It's not going away. So you telling the kids to write a 700-page paper or 700 character word without using ChatGPT. It's like, okay, so do you want me to know Chinese and be able to manipulate it? Or do you want me to learn the writing these words out?
The stroke order.
Yeah. It's like, so, I mean, it's great. I think there needs to be the basic understanding, but after that, it's off to the races now. Yeah.
No, I also think there's actually one more AI that I've been playing with lately, and what it does is it dubs.
Sure.
11 Labs.
Yep.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
So what that does was it'll, like, for example, like we'll take this.
Yes.
And then it'll dub it to Chinese.
Yes.
But it will dub it in your voice.
Yes.
To Chinese. So people that don't speak Chinese.
Yep.
It'll be all in Chinese.
Yes.
And so that is really cool. But I don't know how I think people are gonna freak out a little bit, because it's like, are you stealing my voice?
Sure.
So I don't know, like you can take, one guy took a Eminem, like Eminem's voice.
Yeah.
And like he had Eminem rap out a whole different song.
Sure.
And it sounded great. And it sounded just like him, but I don't know. I mean, for me, that's great because, one of the critiques I always get is that, I don't put the Chinese subs on the podcast, and I'm trying to, but Google Translate is not as good yet.
Nope.
And what happens is if I have to pay someone to do an hour a week, that's basically a full-time job.
Sure.
And that's tough. So then you're like, okay, what should I do about that? And if I don't need subs, but if I can do like the dubbing in the actual person's voice, like not some robot voice, that's pretty new. So I want to see where that goes. I'm playing with that right now.
Yeah. I mean, and then
11 labs. Yeah.
So it's is that the same one where it actually uses your voice, but then
uses
it's actually
your voice.
Your mouth actually mimics it actually.
Oh, I'm not sure. It doesn't get that close. I don't think it gets that good, but for example, one of the demos is, this guy, this like American guy, he does it in Hindi.
Yeah.
Obviously he doesn't speak Hindi,
of course,
but the Hindi that was coming out in his voice was incredible. Sounded amazing.
Yeah.
So it's what? It's crazy. Yeah. So you could have any random person speaking any language. Yeah. It's dubbed with their voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like some robot. Because I mean, if you dub it in a robot voice, that's pretty crap.
Yeah.
But to have it done in your voice, it's crazy. It gives a little bit of a China accent still, but it still sounds amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on where it comes from, but so we're, I mean, from the VC side, we're looking at this and we're just trying to figure out how to even make of it, because like everything that we see is there's some type of AI component, but then like if you can do that AI voice, there's another great software company that can do the AI voice too. So we're trying to understand, okay, so what's the barrier of entry to actually create an AI voice? Yeah. Because it's in truth, it's going to be, okay, the model is going to learn learn all these different voices and then better, and they'll get better. And then, but then it's, well, you're already better, but this one's going to come up as same as possible. So what's that differentiation, or what's that moat that's going to help you like keep making money off of it, or it's going to go down to zero in terms of, oh, I'm going to charge $10 and then I'm going to charge $9 and then he has going to reduce his price too.
So that's always tough. Like that, I always call that like the race to zero, right? Yeah. Because let's say, when we started, let's say we started the restaurant and, it was pretty cheap. Same thing. Sure. It's really cheap, but then another guy would be like, oh, I think it's expensive, so I'm going to charge half that. And it happened a long time ago. There was people saying, oh, this place is over, whatever, Eddy's, it's expensive. I'm going to charge half. And then they charge half. Then another guy would be like, no, I'm going to charge half. And then they're all out of business now. They're gone now. Yeah. And then, we're still here and we can't charge that. We can't charge like nothing, or else this, you got to pay for the rent. You got to pay for the staff. Yeah. And we've got really good staff right now, but with good staff, you have to pay well. Of course. Right. Because if you don't pay well, people just jump out and go across the street, right? They leave. So it's tough, that race to zero. Yeah, with AI, man, I mean, that 11 labs, it's been unbelievable. I play with that a few times and I'm just like, you can actually do it for free. Yeah. And it's like, so like, and it's really cheap. I think it's probably like $5 or $10 a month to have quite a bit. For what I need, it's going to be a little bit more. Sure. But if I can have like my hour-long podcast dubbed completely with the person's voice, it's worth it for me. Sure. Because for me to hire a full-time person to translate, that's so expensive. It is. And I've looked at it and I'm like, the podcast brings in a little bit, but it's not like a money maker. It's fun and it's great. You're getting vibe out. But if I could, $100 a month and it's all done for me, sold. Exactly. For sure. Yeah. To be honest, the podcast actually brings, like today's pretty slow, but usually the podcast, people will walk by, they see the lights and stuff, they come in and they check it out, and people come in and they're cool to check out like a live show and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It's definitely helped the restaurant on a slow day a lot. Nice. That's been cool. It's been a good thing, man. Very sure. And the coolest thing is the networking. Like I've met so many cool people and just, you meet some of these giant YouTubers that are like 500, 600, a million, subscribers. Yeah. And, I hit them up and they're like, yeah, let's do it. I got to introduce you to another guy. Yeah, please do. He's legit. He's big, probably the biggest in Taiwan. Oh, dude. Sold. Yeah, please do. Yeah. No, I love it because when you talk to like some of the biggest, most successful guys, like they're so humble. Everybody's seems like I don't know, super humble and super nice and friendly. No, they're just trying to, they basically did the same thing you did. They're just trying to figure out, this guy, he always tells me, Joe, like everyone always hits me up and tries to say, how do I start? He goes, look, and then he actually quotes Mr. Beast, make 100 videos before you even come back and talk to me. Yeah. It's like, if you don't make 100 videos, you don't
know how much effort you haven't put in the time yet.
1% better every time. Right?
Exactly.
You know, I agree with that also because I've met you know, a lot of people and yeah, like Mr. Beast, like the first however many years,
Sure,
his videos were pretty crappy, and now he's like freaking king of the world, right?
Amazing.
$1 billion yacht.
Amazing.
He's the Beast Burger is one of the ghost kitchen things, right?
Yeah.
And it's even in Taiwan.
Yep.
And we order it once in a while. Man. We get some Beast Burger.
Yeah.
We get some Beast. We love Mr. Beast, so that's why I was shocked when that guy was like, "I hate Mr. Beast." Like, how dare you? Mr. Beast. We love Mr. Beast. How dare you? But he was just like, yeah. Basically, what he said was, before Mr. Beast, made YouTube very like
Sure.
professional. Like it was just like vlogging sort of things, and it was something different. But he raised the level, and yeah. But this guy's also killing. He's full-time YouTuber, so he's doing well.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing about that was all of the there's thousands of comments, and 3/4 of them are like, "This guy, he's so jealous. Who is this? Who the hell is this guy?" And they're just blasting this guy, and he's a YouTuber in Taiwan, and he's getting blasted by people from all over the world because it was so funny, man. It's too good, too good.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, he has an opinion and you can respect it, but then it's like, that happens a lot too. Just like you're just getting blasted all over the place. Where you're just like, okay, he changed the way we want to do YouTube. And it's like,
No, and for me too, I love it. Like I said, the funny thing is he's got his chocolate brand, right? Feastables,
yeah, of
right?
Of course.
And so
you need the Eddy quesadilla brand.
We need the quesadilla brand, man. Okay, I'm gonna push on that one. I like that. I think we did I mentioned AI. I have like an AI thing. If you're cleaning the background, that's crazy. NVIDIA voice, right? That's another AI. But so Mr. Beast, we went back home. My daughter watches. So kids now, I think. Yeah. Mine at least doesn't watch TV. Doesn't watch anything. It's just YouTube. It's only YouTube, right?
Only YouTube.
So all the TVs have YouTube built in.
Yep.
They don't even want to watch the 50 or 70-inch TV. They want to watch the phone or the tablet.
Yep.
And I'm like, but we got that. And we got like the surround sound. And she's like, no,
nope.
Watching it with crappy earbuds and a little tablet. I'm like, okay. So she loves that. And so one of the things on the list when we went to Canada was we had to find the Feastables, right? And so we couldn't find them until we went to this ice cream shop.
Sure.
And they had like all the candies, and we found them on the counter, the Feastables, Mr. Beast chocolate bars. And they were $12.95 for a chocolate bar. And I was like, holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah, because we went into Walmart because he's always like, put my stuff in Walmart right beside Hershey's, right?
Sure.
And so we went and we found them and we bought them, and we were so excited. And they were pretty good.
Yeah.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
Nothing mind-blowing, but it was just like, wow. It's because Mr. Beast, we want to try it.
Sure,
it's
of course.
Mr. Beast.
Of course.
And Carl had his gummies. We got Carl gummies and Feastables, right? So we brought them back, and my daughter was so excited. And we had them, and I don't know what we were expecting. It was good, but it was like, it's not like you're mind blowing, but it was nice. It was cool. Yeah,
that's
marketing, right?
That's amazing. He just did it. And he keeps on going out and trying to figure out that next thing.
Yeah, and just touching on what we were talking about earlier with the marketing. For us, when we started to try to be like more like hole in the wall.
Sure.
Like you're talking about. LA or for the States being different, to start a company than Taiwan.
Yeah.
We started, trying to make it really, really like hole in the wall vibe, like in Mexico, like in the States, and stuff like that. Yeah. And then what happened was the Taiwanese people, they would come and they would think, okay, this is kind of an exotic thing, like a special occasion, exotic thing. But then, we would do, we did that with all the previous restaurants.
Yeah.
And it was okay. But when we did this one, I said, I want to put the stuff that I miss. I want to have the screens up so we can show some fights.
Sure.
I want to have like the wing night. I want to do the stuff that I really miss.
Yeah.
Plus the Mexican, right? Yeah. And when we did that, it really, of course, the expats were coming in and they liked it and stuff like that. But the locals were like, yeah, we can come here once a week. We can come for wing night.
Yep.
Kids eat free Thursday.
I'm gonna ask for wings.
Yes.
I forgot wings.
That's okay. We'll get some at the end. We'll get some at the end. We got time. Yeah. No. So basically, I'll get you some wings at the end. Yeah. So basically, no, it's been really good. And when there was that little pivot.
Yeah.
That kind of like, so Mexican.
It's like another level.
Yeah. So it's another level. But like, I have a lot of Mexican friends, and a lot of them they've opened stands or food trucks or little restaurants or stuff like that. And their kind of mindset is like what mine was at the beginning. And I try to kind of help them, like, when they're open, I'm like, don't go too cheap, because you're just gonna be broke for a freaking decade. You want that? And they're like, no. I'm like, these are my mistakes. Don't try to be like, the 2 peso taco. No, don't do that, because look at saffron. Indian food is cheap in India, but because of places like saffron in Taiwan, Indian foods, that's fine dining now.
Sure.
And it's great. And just next to us, Spice Shop just moved in, which is great.
Congrats for them too.
Congrats to Spice Shop, really good. So so now, because I don't know who was first, Spice Shop or Saffron, whoever, they were just like, let's make it premium. Let's make it premium and make it good. Now all the Indian restaurants are benefiting from Indian's premium. And I love Indian. So definitely. So I told these guys as well, don't make them really cheap. And sometimes they still will make them cheap, and then they kind of like that race to zero. They price themselves out of business, and they're like, "Oh man, they give up and stuff." I'm like, that's because you're trying to undercut the crap out of me, and you're just killing yourself, man. It's tough. It's race to zero.
Because it's a different market. Like, you're not competing against the niromian, the beef noodle soup. It's like
I had that for lunch. Fantastic.
It's great, but
you can't compete with that.
You can't compete with that.
You can't.
So if you're going after that market, you
already lost.
Because we can do that in California, because the volume of it is there. You're going after volume. Here, you actually have to find that customer base that wants your food, and then not all Taiwanese want just quesadillas every day. That's
true.
Even whether we want it or not, that's not going to happen.
No, 100%, man. I agree. But let me pull up some pictures, man.
Okay.
So let's get some pictures in here. Boom.
Okay.
Look at this guy. Right? Do you remember any of these pictures, or you just do so many of them? Or you just like global summit something?
This is so
how often do you get up and people invite you to give talks like this?
So we not as much after COVID, but before COVID, it was definitely. That's part of the job, was trying to
pop another one on there.
So this is a very famous one, because I brought the summit called Infinity Venture Summit to Taiwan, and then the idea was trying to figure out how to invigorate the tech Taiwan startup scene. And so it was. So we've been doing this for the last since 2009, even earlier, 2006, back in Japan. And so we were like, okay, we need to, if we want to actually invest in Taiwan, we need to, not only we can try to invest in startups, but we should try to bring the ecosystem that we have in Japan over to Taiwan. And so that's what we did this was crazy. The crazy part of this is one of the investments that we did was called M17. It's a live stream platform, and then
I got a picture of it on here somewhere. Yeah.
So we were supposed to.
That's not it. But
So we were supposed to IPO that company the last day of this event, and so we had. So this is when strategy planning is like, you can do all the planning you want, but shit's still gonna hit the fan, and you just gotta roll with it. So
like what Mike Tyson said, right?
Oh my gosh. So we did this IPO. The IPO was on IPO was on Thursday night. And so we had this whole thing of plan. Event was done, and then we're gonna have this huge party, and then we're gonna ring the bell, and everything was gonna boom, boom, boom. And 17 goes. This is all in the newspaper, so it's nothing secret, but just we're the 17 is the only company in the world that rings the New York Stock Exchange bell and doesn't trade. It actually, it's a infamously, trading means like people exchange, you buy and sell
shares
off on Robinhood or whatever. It's like, it does. We're ringing the bell, and then we're looking up, and then there's a ticker, and the ticker was YQ, and then you're just looking, and then there's no, the price of the company doesn't show up in yet, and I'm like, what's going on? And then we find out that when the bankers weren't able to get everything all out in time, and we actually had to eventually, like 4 days later, we actually had to pull the stock down.
Shoot!
And then it was. crazy story about just trying to get a company from when we invested to actually exiting, and then or going public, and then going public and still having not to do it. But the cool thing is that just 2 weeks ago we had just announced that they're going to go public now in Singapore, and then so just going to build up from there. But it was just such a crazy ride from when we invested back in 2015 to when we are about to list end of the year. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that's that's crazy. That was that story.
Okay, that's a good one. Shoot. Wow. Okay, here's another one. You seem to be involved in like a lot of this stuff, man. It's crazy.
No. I mean, this is back to the MBA. So it's actually I definitely recommend going to the MBA. Not to learn from the books. I mean, there's some great professors, and so that's really good in terms of finding nuggets of information. But if you want to learn how to do accounting, you can go to like whatever, what's Khan Academy or something, and then you can learn most of it from books. But when you want to go to the MBA is actually more for the network. And so
makes sense.
So we build. So this is just a networking event. That ESA is the school I went to in Barcelona.
Oh,
so that
gotcha. Okay.
So that's what we were doing, and then just helping build out the community here in Asia.
Will schools be needed after the AI is like full stream? Still,
and
just for the networking?
It's even more important to find the angle and the network.
Okay.
Because AI will take care of like your grunt work.
Okay.
So like if we can talk, but then like you still need to have ideas of what we're going to talk about.
Gotcha.
And so like you can actually have a recording of Joe and then just throw it in here, but then like it's going to sound monotone and whatnot.
Yeah.
You need to have a way to actually get that human aspect to it. Why do people want to listen to us? Why are we just doing this? And then if it falls flat, then the AI can tell that it falls flat, but it's not going to know how to actually fix it.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that's where
it's that old saying where it's not what you know, right? It's who you know.
That's
crazy. Yeah. Let's keep going.
Oh my gosh.
You're always so happy, first of all.
Yeah,
which is crazy, man.
This was one of my first events.
And you don't age.
No.
Jeez. Yeah. What's the secret? Jeez.
No. Just
we're just bringing the Japanese over here, just trying to get them to think about Taiwan as an investable space.
Okay.
But some things that people need to realize also is Taiwan is actually a very, very small country.
Yes. So I was going to say, I mean, what's the population of Japan? It's massive.
So it's 120 million. I think it's decreasing, but it's still 120 million.
Still massive.
It's also not only the massive country. It's like Mexico is a massive country.
Yeah.
India is a massive country, but the crazy thing, it's a massive country. Japan is a decent sized population, but it's still the third largest economy in the world.
Yeah.
And I just looked this up. Taiwan's the 21st largest country in the world.
Okay. Yeah.
And so like we can't use the same idea. Like just back to the Mexican, like the Mexican tacos or Mexican food idea. You can't think that what's going to happen in California is going to work in Taiwan, because just the population, the way that we buy things, the way we act is very different. Same thing that what I did really badly for video games is like, I always thought, we're going to do it the same way and it's going to work in Taiwan. It doesn't. Yeah.
The funniest thing, quickly touching on the Mexican again. For us, some of our, like we have customers from the States and from everywhere, and of course Mexican customers as well. But the Mexican customers are, because they're so used to cheap Mexican.
Yeah.
So they, how can I say it? They spend the least and complain the most. You know what I mean? And for the first many years, I really tried to cater to those guys, and it was just like, in the end, once we stopped and we're just like, no, let's give, the Western people, and let's give the Taiwanese and the people come in, the Europeans come in, get that nice beer, get that nice food, get that nice vibe. Let's get them in here because they're going to come in and they're not going to be complaining about everything, And after we kind of pivoted again to that, it worked a lot. It was great. It's been great for us, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's the problem. Well, we can't.
It's like sending Chinese and Taiwanese people to eat Panda Express.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. Orange chicken. I mean, it's great, right? But I mean, like my wife was like, "What the hell is this?" It's orange chicken, right?
What's the
fortune cookies?
chickens?
What about fortune cookies?
Gosh.
Fortune cookies. You know, in Canada, you think these are very Chinese.
No. Yeah.
It's just some I don't know, some guy in New York or something who's like, "Let me just make these." And yeah, it's crazy, right? Funny.
No, that's exactly.
Yeah, it's so funny, right? Let's keep going. Boom.
Another beer?
Let's get two more, please. Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. What do we got going on?
Oh
here,
man.
brother?
Okay, so this one we are expanding.
What is that?
So we're expanding into Bangkok. So I think the last says is IVS Bangkok. So we went from Taipei to Tokyo to Taipei.
Okay.
And we were in San Francisco. We have offices in Beijing, Berlin, San Francisco, Sao Paulo, and then we were trying to expand into Thailand, and then again, every market is so
I was
different.
gonna say, it must be a very different market, right?
Yeah, so you're trying to be open-minded, and you're trying to use trying to get the best practices and then move them over, but then you realize Thailand is another. It's great. The food's great. They have incredible tourism, but like if you're trying to do a startup there, you can't use the same ideas that we do in Taiwan or even the States. It's a whole nother ball game over there.
Gotcha.
So,
That makes sense. That makes sense.
and
I would
so-
imagine even Japan to Taiwan is because of the population. Because you think Asian countries that would have some similarities.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's actually easier to go from. I would actually say it's easier to go from Taiwan to Japan than Japan to Taiwan.
Okay. Makes sense. Yeah. I actually quick story on that, but let's keep going. Let's go through the pictures. You gotta have it. You gotta have some In-N-Out.
Man,
I love In-N-Out. I love it. We did so before we opened this restaurant. I had an investor at the time, and he's like, there's this chorus in California, and you got to check it out." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So we went to this business course. It ended up being pretty good.
Sure.
But the funny thing was we did the Airbnb, and we're like on Venice Beach or whatever area, and people like, "Is it your first time in LA?" I said, "Yeah, it's our first time in LA." And they're like, "Okay, congratulations, welcome to LA."
You gotta have In-N-Out.
And they're just like, "What's the first thing you want to do in LA?" And I'm like, "In-N-Out Burger."
Yep.
And they're just like, "What?"
Really?
Yeah, they're just like, "What?" I'm like, "In-N-Out Burger," and they're just like,
Okay.
"All the things in LA, and you want to go to an In-N-Out?" I'm like, "Yeah." And I'm like, I told them I have a Mexican restaurant, and like a good percentage of my customers are American, and everybody raves about In-N-Out Burger, and they were just kind of like, "Okay, cool." So we went to an In-N-Out. Oh, it was great. Oh, so good. I loved it. But I'm also like I love burgers. Like that's one of my, it was my wife's birthday yesterday, and she's, we went to Takashimaya. They just opened this new all-you-can-eat buffet Japanese thing, and it was good.
Yeah.
And it was, it was pricey. It was good, but whenever I eat something like that, like it's good. But I'm always thinking I should just have a burger. Like I'd be way happier with a Louis burger.
Me too.
With just a Louis burger.
I mean, you got congrats to them too.
I love Louis burger. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, they started over there.
Exactly. I actually had Louis on a long time ago. I should get him again. It's funny because when I had him here, he's tiny. He comes in and I think he's I would say at most mid-20s.
Okay.
And when I had him here, I had, talked to Taiwanese customers, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just in the yards, man." They think he's my son. I'm like, "What? He's not my son. I'm just doing a podcast. What are you talking about?" They're like, "What the hell's that? What's a podcast?" But yeah, no, it's so funny, man. Yeah, but like I said, I'm just rather get a Louis burger than,
But
yeah,
okay, so we met. So just to some cool ideas from In-N-Out was they kept their menu simple.
very simple and small.
Yeah, and so
and
that's
not expensive.
Yeah.
Just a.
Well, I mean, expensive wise, I think they were premium though. They would.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not McDonald's.
They're not McDonald's.
They're not McDonald's, and
Yeah.
then so like in sense they're basically the competitor that I knew about was like Carl's Jr. And higher, right? So that's they had a burger that Carl's Jr. was trying to compete against, but it was just very simple, but very just double
smash patty, good stuff, great fries,
yes,
anima style. It's just great. I loved it, man. Gotta say, I love that.
Yeah,
there you go. Boom. Shout out to In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
And you're looking pretty happy as well.
No, it's good. It's good. Those
it's
fries
very
are
good,
great.
bro.
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh my gosh.
This is a good one too. This is Sean, right? I believe, yeah.
So this is July 4th.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, man, I gotta be
eating
careful.
the Mexican corn there, bro.
No, it's good.
The Mexican corn, man. Elote.
Oh, I gotta tell you, I thought I was gonna move to Mexico. I was on my way to the AFA right after graduation,
That's so funny, man.
And then it ended up being in Taipei. So
that's funny because when my sister finished high school, she went to Mexico for a year to like perfect the Spanish.
Sure.
And then when I was going to come here, everybody's like, you don't even know anybody there. Just go to Mexico. And everybody's just go to Mexico. And I'm like, I want to do something different. I want to get out. I've always wanted to go to Asia.
Sure.
And I looked at China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, a couple of the other countries, Thailand, Philippines. And I thought I'll start here. And if I can learn Mandarin, that'd be great. Because I think it's quite a valuable one, right? I think, so I thought I came here and the plan was to come here for 1 or 2 years. And it was just like, people are nice, weather's nice, cost of living's decent, beautiful women everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like, why would I leave here? People are like, oh, but Japan has that too. I'm like, yeah, but Japan snows. And I'm from like almost Alaska. So
you want some tropical
no snow for me. No snow for me, man.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice.
These guys, that was a good one here. Yes. Next one, man. Infinity Ventures.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's it. So I mean, our job is to try to find some things that can really have a world, not a worldwide, like at least a countrywide and then region-wide impact internet startup. That's so
Okay.
I mean, this time, no, this is not the one, but we're looking at, I think I'm trying to talk about, this might be the one that we're investing in Taiwan Taxi. Like
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to actually help them. You guys have already one of the largest user bases in Taiwan.
Okay.
And you already do ride hailing. Can you do other things? And then like, let's help you guys
have an app and all that stuff. Yeah.
They already had the app.
Okay.
So, but the app was very focused on just ride hailing.
Okay.
And so the idea was, okay, can we get you guys to think about other services? And then let's not go after the services at no margin. Like, sorry, I don't want to go out the restaurants. It was like, dude.
No, dude, it's all good. I know I have no margin sometimes.
No, but
that's
you guys
like
35% margin take, and then like
that's great.
It's just a pain point and then I don't think there's anybody winning that. It's like everyone's like losing. So
for sure.
So we were thinking about things that there was actually like house cleaning, drunk driving.
So drunk driving is massive.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And so those things where there's people that drunk driving is designated drivers. So like the idea is okay, these are things that people really need. It's very hard. They're very fragmented in terms of their businesses, and they need a way to actually like aggregate all that. So that's what we're actually helping them with 5-6 on that one. Yeah.
I think that that's a cool one. I actually think that a lot of the people, even I've also been guilty of it. When you're kind of in your business a lot, it's hard for you to step back and kind of like be like that master of puppets, that puppet master that's kind of like, we need more marketing, we need more of this, we need more of that.
Sure.
So so for me, I've been able now after a long time to do that.
Yeah.
My wife is still having a hard time doing it, so I'm trying to kind of pull her out because when you have a good crew, the plan is to kind of let them do it, and if they're kind of 80-90%, that's good. That's good enough.
Of course.
Because my wife's a bit of a perfectionist.
Sure.
And we both are, but I also see if we're both going to be that, you got to get that 100 all the time. Then my daughter's home alone and I was taking care of her. So I'm trying to, I got a good crew. So I'm trying to I've pulled back a little bit, but I'm trying to get her to do that. So no, but I know that's common, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, no, this is my baby. No one can do it better than me. Yeah. So the small business curse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I mean, And especially because you're like head down, you have to go against those like low cost competitors. You have to go against people that like all of a sudden like your crew doesn't show up, and then you're manning the fryer and all this stuff. And
Been there, yeah.
So it's I mean, just kudos to the entrepreneur. It's just like that's so hard. And just from why we liked, I mean, Taiwan Taxi, they were fighting against Uber, they were fighting against Line, they were fighting against like the biggest, baddest like startups. Like these guys were invested by like SoftBank and all these other guys. So like, and then for them to actually survive, not only survive, but actually still like keep their market share. I was like, okay, these guys do definitely have like some grit to them.
Love it. Okay, I've got 2 more.
All right.
Look at that.
So this is this is again in what's it called, in Bangkok. These guys were the winners of our so we did a pitch contest in Bangkok, and then I think it's a small business accounting app, and I don't want to ruin their name, but it's something tree. I think it's something tree, something, I forget their name, but they won they won our event. They won. And then later on they actually got invested by Sequoia. So
oh wow,
just great news for them. But yeah, definitely it was fun. Bangkok is definitely an amazing place.
I love the food, man.
Yeah, the food is just.
I love Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand's great.
It's a beautiful place. Yeah. I don't get there much. I've been there twice.
Yeah,
I went once on a visa run, way back in the day, and one of my buddies with one of my, Canadian buddies who knows Thailand well.
Sure.
So, different experience. And then I went with my wife, before we were married.
Yeah.
So 2 very different experiences. Yeah. When you go with a woman or you go with a man, that's quite a different experience in Thailand, man.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's the one you were talking about. Yeah.
So see those. So those are hammers. So we're in Taiwan.
Okay.
Ringing a fake bell because that's the bell that we were ringing. But there's a real bell on the New York Stock Exchange that the founders were ringing at the same time because we had the simulcast, and that's. The crazy though, it's just all of a sudden, just like you're totally at your high at that moment because everything's going right. We just brought this great crazy summit from Japan to Taiwan. We had over 1,000 people there, and then we had this great party. Everyone's happy. We have champagne pouring.
Champagne wishes, caviar dreams, right?
And then all of a sudden these caviar dreams become like shit. It's just like, oh my gosh. You're just crazy, trying to figure out how to just scramble and put everything back together.
That's a crazy one, man. Yeah, no, that's the last one. No, but man, I mean, we didn't even hit much of your career on this one, but because it was just a great chat. But yeah, you know what? Time flies, man. It's been an hour 15 already.
Thank you for.
We could do. I would love to do it again, and we could dive deep into your career because it was. No, it was good. No, it was very good. I love it.
No, I want to see those quesadillas. I want to see that.
Let's do the quesadillas. Yeah. Okay.
Something else. Something that's gonna just easy to do, but okay. Actually, Gordon Razmi, he's the one that one of his first episodes of that Changing the Kitchen is like he went to fish and chips.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it's something that's like masses, and so because you're still selling a premium product, but you're going after a much higher volume product.
Yes.
My higher volume audience versus I mean
the dine in, but you want let's grab that, grab it to go. Okay. Yeah. Love it. Yeah. No, I love it. Thanks, man.
Cheers.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Man, we got to do it again. Yeah, well, let's I don't want to ruin your kids' Halloween costumes here, but we're gonna be Miles Morales,
Stacy.
Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, come and see us this weekend.
Yep,
it's gonna be good, man. Hopefully we'll see you.
You're gonna be packed. I'll be like, I'll go get the quesadilla and then
get the quesadilla to go. We'll have some for sure. We'll have them for sure. But yeah, brother, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you
so cool, much. So cool.
Yes,
I know you've been coming for years. You've been I want to thank you for that. Big supporter of us for a long time.
You guys have the great food.
I appreciate it, man.
We appreciate the good food.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching,
and
we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.